Check, 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 check. Aha. Okay. Hello. Hello. Oh, wait. Oh, okay.
Hello. Yeah, this is MCW coming down on the hydration station. I hate this.
Ew. Ba-da-da. Damn straight. Your favorite chocolate motherfucker here, live and in charge.
Wait, are we live right now?
Yeah, we're recording.
Oh, very good. You ever seen that movie?
No.
It's got Steve Carell in it. He's like, all right, we're all going to tell the truth around the table. And like, small little kid, got chubby, super chubby cheeks, probably 7 years old. He's just, I went to the petting zoo and I let a goat lick my penis.
Oh my God.
Steve Carell's like, not going to get in trouble. You're not going to get in trouble. That's good. Very good. He's trying not to cry.
Oh no. Could you imagine like having that actually really happen in front of you?
What?
It's
Child
like
doing that?
No, just like
I just walk away. I'm like, I ain't getting put on no fucking list.
Right? Like I don't know if it just like someone coming up to you is like, I put peanut butter on my genitalia and let my dog lick it off, and it's just like, this puts a damper on our relationship.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, like you probably shouldn't have said that. Yeah,
I don't know, man. Some people do crazy ass shit in the throes of pre-nut clarity.
dog.
Or
It's
I
just
guess
like
pre-nut fogginess would be the better word.
it's so crazy what not being. I don't even know how to word this because it's gonna sound bad. People who live their lives without experiences and what it can do to the mental concept is kind of wild to me.
What kind of experiences are you talking about?
Like, just like, I don't know, just different experience, like sexual experiences. It's like people who are still virgins in their like 40s just do weird shit. Like I saw a video yesterday. This woman, she's 41, is a virgin, and she feels like it's such a burden on her that she has a coming out party where she invites all of her close friends just to tell them she's a fucking virgin.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I feel like at 41, you'd have enough close friends where you could just be like, hey, I need you to help me out with something.
Well, so it's funny as hell because like the way I saw it was like, man, you just threw this party just to put it out there just to see if someone would take the fucking bait, didn't you? Because it was like right after one of her close friends, who's also a woman, she's the first one to arrive, and like she's like, what is this all about? You know, is this coming out party? You know, she's like, are you are you living a different lifestyle? You know, asking if she's gay, and she's like, no, nothing like that. She's just like, I don't know. I just had this burden on my chest, and I just, I'm still a virgin. And her friend's like, me too. And it's just like, oh God, it gets worse from here. And then there's some dude, like after she comes out to the whole group, there's some like fucking dude sitting there. He's like, some men find that attractive. I was like, listen, dude, just tell her you want to fuck so you can get it over with. Like, stop making it awkward, please. You're grown ass adults. Just say it.
God damn.
Oh man.
How do you get to 41 and pull no bitches?
Well, she did explain that for some reason, like the situations would make her so like overly nervous that it would make her vomit.
That nervous?
That nervous. So it happens, dude.
Damn.
But like,
I guess that would be a turnoff to whoever is on the other end. Like, wow, you think I'm that gross that you're throwing up? I'll just leave, okay?
Yeah, man. But it's like, it's also just like, is that just like something that just happens with you, or is this trauma? You know what I'm saying?
God, if I got with a woman and she threw up beforehand, I'd be like, okay, noted. I'm gonna never look at myself in the mirror ever again.
To tell you the truth, I don't even know how I would fucking take that. Like, if you're in the middle of just starting, like you're starting to get into like the heat of the moment, and all of a sudden she just like, give me a second, leans over the bed and just upchucks. It's just like, is it me or are you okay? Are you feeling sick? Is this something I should be concerned about?
I would immediately think it was me, and then I would ask, "Have you had something like? Did you drink something
Yeah.
like to calm your nerves?
I would have been like, are you okay? Did you eat something bad? Because then I'd still have to sit here and deal with the fact that you just threw up all over the floor in the middle of us trying.
Your equipment's not going to work. After
Oh,
that.
absolutely not. Like the whole idea of us getting down and dirty is immediately out the window.
At that point, you're just like, okay, screw all that. No
Yeah.
pun intended. Like, are you actually okay?
Yeah, it's gonna.
Why are
turn
you puking? And like, please tell me it's got nothing to do with me.
It's gonna immediately turn into I want to have sex with you. Like, do I need to take you to the hospital? Like, did you eat something bad?
Oh, bro, I can't smell either. So I would assume like
Oh,
that
please.
it was because of the way that I smelled. I get so self-conscious.
Oh, brother, like I can't. It would like just even the fact that like you said smell. I thought you were going to talk about the smell. I hate the smell of vomit. I just can't. I cannot deal with it. Like stomach juices smell disgusting.
Yeah, I can't smell shit.
Lucky you, you bastard.
Hey, you say that. I don't know what my own wife smells like.
All right, and on that note of it turning being like very sad, welcome back to another.
No, I didn't mean it. But I didn't mean for it to do that.
Welcome back to the first episode of the new year. We are your hosts. I am Caleb, and I'm here with my buddy Jamie with the first episode of Emotional Support Veterans of 2024. We kind of took a break.
Yeah, we kind of.
Life got a little wild.
Yeah, I think we also said that last episode too.
Yeah, we did, and it just didn't stop from there. We tried. We tried, but life got a little busy. New job. You ended up getting a new job during that time.
I did, yes.
Holiday seasons.
And I might be getting another new job. I'm broke, okay?
Anyways, we're not really going to apologize because life is life, so we're just going to keep rolling from here. But on today's episode, we've got some fun topics. We've got some planned topics, and I probably picked the one topic that this is going to make it the longest episode because you're probably never going to shut the fuck up about it.
Yeah, probably not.
But with that being said, there is a good topic that we're going to talk about today, and it's going to be aliens. You know, it's all the aliens, all this crazy stuff. But do you know why I don't believe in aliens?
Why?
Because they're all fucking liars. Welcome to ESV. Let's get into the episode.
Oh my god!
That was a good one, wasn't it?
Brother!
I've been sitting on that dad joke ever since I came up with the idea of what this episode was going to be.
Oh my god.
Okay. All right, get it back together.
Are you okay?
A little bit. All right, so welcome back to ESV. We are your hosts. You already know who we are. But yeah, today, one of the first topics that I want to bring up is kind of just like, what is going on in the world right now? Like, out of the little break that we took from when we first started the couple episodes, the world has just been
Betty White died. Nothing's been the same since.
Did Betty White die?
Yes, Betty White died.
Fuck, I forgot,
Where
dude.
the fuck have you been?
Under a rock, man. I don't.
What about Harambe? Do you know who Harambe
Yeah,
is?
man. Yeah, man. Listen, there were so many times that people joked that Betty White died. I just stopped believing it. You know, I just thought this woman was just eternal, and she is our new god. You know. But anyways, so aliens, dude.
Yes. What?
So many things about aliens recently. Especially about so the topic is talking about that 10-foot alien supposedly seen in Miami. Did you see anything about that?
I briefly heard that a bunch of cops were called to the scene.
So what happened apparently was that they reported that cops had arrived at a scene, I think at a mall in Miami, for kids firing fireworks, right?
Okay.
So this is where the bullshit starts for me. And I'm not, like, disclaimer, I'm not saying I believe any of this. Like, I do believe that there's life out there. Do I believe that we're being visited by it? Not in this sense. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, when you pull up the video of the supposed sighting of the 10-foot alien, the amount of police that had shown up in front of that freaking mall, it looked like the entire department and the county next door came to that mall.
I mean, you would go too. You wanted to see the big alien.
But hear me out. They said that they showed up for kids firing fireworks at each other in the parking lot. Like, I'll show you the video after the episode, but like, it was legit a string of cop cars. They were lighting up the whole fucking area. That's how many cops were there.
For kids firing fireworks?
For kids firing fireworks. And then there's the whole supposed, they were there reacting to a 10-foot alien sighting. And it's just like, okay, so this is where it gets weird for me. And it also brings up a lot of other questions. So one, why is it every time there's a cryptid sighting, there's always like shitty camera footage?
It's a ploy by Big Camera to sell higher quality cameras.
I don't know about that, but it's like, you would think in 2024, when we can put 4K cameras and GoPros, we would have something, at least something in good quality for us to actually see what's going on.
I don't know. Maybe they're more focused on what it is they're seeing.
No. In this day and age, dude, if people can pull their phone out to, like, when they're trying to egg a cop on, or like even just recording a fucking fight, like, World Star is the thing. You're telling me that there are hundreds of people in this mall, and you've got like close to 100 cops on the road. Someone isn't gonna give us a good camera like angle.
That is fair. Because I mean, the cameraman in Finding Nemo, he was able to do it.
I'm gonna fucking fight you.
Why?
I'm gonna fucking fight you.
Why?
And then on top of that, the only footage that is available right now is the footage from the supposed helicopter that was flying overhead. And I don't know if you've seen high-speed chases, but I have. And they don't look the shitty quality that video gave us. Like, you can't even tell there's practically anything there. Like, you can see something moving, but at the same time, it's like, you can make this effect in After Effects in a day if you watch a tutorial. And this is on mainstream media. And don't get me wrong, there have been like hoaxes and stuff that have been shown on the news before. But it's like, it doesn't explain why there are so many cops there. And on top of that, you've got civilians in the area, and you're telling me not one of them, if not like out of a couple hundred or thousand that are in the area, we don't have hundreds of video camera angles capturing this thing? Why is it that we can never get good camera footage of a cryptid? Like, I want to hear your theories on it.
I don't have any. Because if I played Mass Effect, okay? So if I ever found an alien, I would be busy trying to see if I can clap cheeks.
What? See, I knew you were going to say that.
I wouldn't be recording.
I knew you were going to say that.
I might be recording, if you know what I mean.
No. What, dude? I knew you were gonna be the one to fucking say it.
Say what?
You.
That I'm trying to clap some alien cheeks? Did you play Mass Effect?
Yeah, I did. I want you to know.
You're telling me you're not trying to clap some alien cheeks?
I really want you to know that the first rendition of how I was going to open this episode was going to be with dealing with somehow like how have we not seen a video of Marines clapping alien cheeks yet? I'm glad I threw that out the window because you took care of it for me. But
yes.
But yeah, it's like a traditional thing when it comes to cryptid videos, whether it be Bigfoot, aliens, or so on and so forth. We either have A, shitty camera footage, or B, the person holding the phone is an individual over the age of 40 or 50 who doesn't know how to work an iPhone or a camera phone and doesn't know how to hold the camera fucking still. Like, all you need to do, hit the button, hold it forwards. Like the video footage from the supposed alien crash in Vegas, right? Now, I did go and actually search that footage up before, which is also weird because now you can't even find the original video anymore. It's been taken off of like all of the internet. Almost. Like there are heavily edited versions, but like the original that shows everything happening is gone. But in that video, you can see, if you have to look for it, but you can see that there's something standing off in the distance. Like, but it's also one of those things. It's like, it's so dark. I can't tell if this has been hoaxed afterwards or if this is actually something we're looking at.
If you can't tell, then just, I don't even bother if I can't tell.
That's the thing too, though, is like in my mind, it's like we've been so accustomed to CGI in movies. How do we know how would we be able to defer something that we can't even comprehend could exist as real, or is this a hoax?
Have you ever seen the movie Paul?
Yeah.
I feel like if aliens ever did come to Earth, they would be like Paul.
Just hippies?
I feel like they would make themselves known. And they'd just be like, hey, you trying to get fucked up or what?
But that's what I'm saying, too. Is like, I don't think we've been visited by aliens at all. I think this is all just like an elaborate hoax. Like, I'm also a conspiracy theorist, but we're not going to go down that rabbit hole because then we'll never get to the rest of the fucking shit that
you
we have
think you're a conspiracy theorist? I think we're living in a simulation.
Don't get me started on that.
Have you ever seen someone carry in groceries, Caleb?
Yes.
No, you haven't.
What do you mean?
No, you haven't. Think about
carry
it.
groceries in.
Have you ever seen someone else do it?
Yes.
Outside of their home?
Yes.
You're lying.
What do you mean?
I've never seen it.
Just because you're a lazy piece of shit doesn't mean that no one else has seen someone carry groceries in the house.
I carry groceries into the house. I've never seen another human do it.
I have watched my mother do it. I have watched my father do it.
Well, yeah, that's because they're directly a part of your simulation.
I have watched my siblings do it. I have watched my battle buddies do it.
I'm talking about a next door neighbor.
I have watched them do it.
You see, this is you trying to convince me
that
not. I'm not in a simulation.
I literally
You're playing your part. I know your code. I know the script.
Oh my God. Okay, so if we're going into that, do you want to know why I think hallucinogenic drugs are illegal?
Why?
Because when you take them, when you trip out, you're not seeing, your brain is not seeing what the drug is making you see. You're seeing the actual foundations of the simulation itself.
Brother, what?
Okay, hear me out. So a friend of mine, I'm not going to put his name out there, took, I believe, I can't remember if it was acid or maybe, not PCP. I think it was acid. He tried acid for the first time. And his experience, he called me the next day and he told me about his experience, right?
Okay.
So he said that when he took it, he went outside and it was like, because it was drizzling that night, like it started to rain that night. He said he walked outside and he was like, I could feel every single blade of grass touching my skin. Every single one. He's like, I could see every drop of dew that was forming on the grass from the rain. And then he said, when I looked at the trees, they didn't look at trees. You're a gamer. You know when a game glitches out or when textures don't render in, they just look like blocks.
Right.
He said that the trees look like blocks.
I think your bro is just faded.
Are you gonna sit here and tell me that you believe in a simulation, but you're not gonna listen to this?
I don't
Seriously?
actually believe I live in a simulation, Caleb. It was a bit.
I fucking hate you. I
Yeah?
can't. You have like the dumbest fucking serious face, and sometimes I want to slap it
Yeah?
because I can't tell when you're fucking with me.
No, I do not believe that we live in a simulation.
You don't?
No.
You don't think it's possible?
No.
Why?
I'm much more concerned with paying my bills. So I have a place to live and, you know, being able to afford food and, like, dog, I tell you, like, all those people that are like, oh, the government's tracking me. Like, all right, Jerry, what's the government going to find that you use paper instead of plastic? You're not that interesting.
You start your Saturday mornings every week watching hentai to
Freaking-
get your blood flowing. But anyway,
I've never cared about that. Never cared about search history. Like, what's the government going to do with my search history?
so here's the thing, though, is like I am a conspiracy theorist. Do I believe in all the things that are out there? No. Do I really believe that the world's a simulation? No, not really. But I do find it funny that the way people perceive things is like strange in some cases. But anyways, back to the conversation.
Okay.
So I like the camera thing. We can't catch a cryptid on camera, which tells me that they don't exist, or B, people are just very shitty cameramen, which again tracks because every single time there is like a video put on the internet that is taken from a phone camera, it's always someone over the age of 45 that is trying to take the video. And I don't know if you've seen Facebook, but anyone above the age of 45 can't even take their own fucking profile picture.
The same kind of people that with the card reader.
Yes.
It just screams, please take your card out, and they just stare at the cashier.
Yes. Or
With
like
lifeless eyes.
Or they have like the tap chip and they're like, yeah, you can tap it. And they're like tapping it with their finger. You know what I'm saying?
I know Bigfoot's real.
I'm not going to feed into it because I can't tell if you're being serious or not.
Bigfoot ate my ass in Delaware.
Oh, there we go. See, there we go.
Yeah.
That's what I'm fucking talking about.
It was great.
That's what I'm talking about. So also, this 10-foot alien. So you're telling me that this thing is 10 feet tall and no one fucking saw it? There's nothing out there.
It's probably because it wasn't actually there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But why would you fucking put that shit out on the news the way they did? Like, I'm telling you, mainstream media put this shit on the fucking news.
They're probably bored.
Well, that or it's an election year, and you know how everybody gets about that.
Yeah. Is it an election year?
It's an election year, I think.
Oh, boy.
I know the debates are about to start.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. The world's at war, and we're about to find out if Trump is about to go back into office or not.
Dog, I'm just trying to afford health insurance.
That's what I'm fucking saying, bro. Oh, God. The shit that they want you to pay attention to is just... It's kind of crazy, too, though, because, like, if you look at the numbers, mainstream media numbers have plummeted because no one gives a shit about it anymore. We're just trying to be out here and survive.
Yeah, they kind of showed their ass whenever Trump got elected.
I think they
first time.
I think they continue to show their ass, too.
Yeah.
Like, nothing... I can't watch the news and believe anything that anyone says anymore.
It made it overtly obvious that
Oh, they're not
they're
even
kind of just following the money.
Yeah, they're not even trying to hide it anymore, bro. Like the amount of shit that I see come from like mainstream media just continues to amaze me. And it's just like also in my mind it's just like to believe that there are people out there that watch that shit religiously and believe it 100% of the time is just mind-boggling.
Do you think if you made like billions of dollars and you paid these major news outlets to cover stories and fabricate sightings that Caleb can turn into a goat on command? And it's been seen, there's been like video recordings, like people would actually believe that you could turn into a goat.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely, bro.
That's the kind of dumb shit I'd do if I was rich.
Well, so we live in an age where the majority of the human population, and this is just my opinion, normally gets all their information about the world from Instagram or Fox News or CNN.
Where do you get yours?
I don't care. Like, it's like you said, I'm just out here trying to fucking survive. And at the same time, the only news that I'm following is the shit that's going on around the world. Like the conflict in Israel and Gaza, what's going on in Ukraine, Iran, the Houthis. that's all I'm focusing on right now because, you know, I'm still wearing a uniform and I'm a firm believer of if you know what's going on with your enemies and around the world, you kind of know what's coming next. Or you have at least information about what could possibly be coming next. Because, you know, I have to be prepared. Because although, you know, I'm all National Guard, and I know you fuckers out there who are listening are going to be like, Weekend Warrior, shut the fuck up.
I mean, are they wrong?
No, but because I'm a traditional, you know, I don't have the ability to do full time. If I could, I would, but also I don't want to go live in that area. I just
That's fair.
don't. But you know, I'm part of a squadron who is very active. So there's a possibility I could get a call within like 2 weeks and be like, "Hey, yeah, yo, shit escalated. Squadron's going. Do you want to go? Or you're gonna go?" You know, because the way my shop is like they really like to take the more what's the word I'm looking for? Seasoned guys, and they put them on the list first, and then they ask for volunteers. But you know, they might get to the point to where it's like there are no volunteers. We're all going. It's going to be skeleton crew here back at base. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm a firm believer of keeping up with shit like that, but I don't like following information from mainstream media because I don't get all the news. I follow a lot of journalist pages, and granted, also I take information with a grain of salt because it's coming from a lot of different like non-backed areas. But there are people out there that I have noticed have been taking kind of like journalism into their own hands. A lot of them being like military-esque vets or military vets and so on and so forth who like to push information as they get it.
Right.
And so I've been keeping up with them mostly rather than mainstream media because it's like if it's coming from a group who are like in close ties with actual military personnel who can get the information that they're allowed to get, at least I know that information has been vetted in some way. I can't tell if the information's been vetted from Fox News or CNN because like we said, they've been showing their asses for the past 2 years lately and they don't give a fuck. They don't give a shit if people know that what they're saying is all bullshit.
Right.
So I've been trying to keep up with that. I don't follow influencers when they report on shit. You know what I'm saying? Like dudes who do like the YouTube shorts about this is what's happening in the world today. And it's like, no, I don't give a shit because you're making content. This is literally what your channel is. I can't tell if you're being serious or not. And also it's been proven that YouTube or content creators will say anything and do anything at some point in their career just to keep the views up. So no, I don't like listening to them. I do my best to try and find information from as little sources as possible. So maybe like 2 or 3, and then I cross-check that reference or that information with what's possibly available to look up.
Like the courier, the mail person in Skyrim. That's where I get my news.
You make me want to dropkick you.
Why?
All that seriousness, and then you hit me with that. Oh my gosh.
Dude, I don't like. If I look into stuff like that, I'm just gonna get depressed.
Well, it's one of those things. It's like I said. It's like if it was any other day, I probably wouldn't keep up with it. But because I still wear the fucking uniform, I feel like it is my obligation to keep up with that stuff.
That's fair.
Because like I have a job to do, and I need to know what we're going up against. Kind of. It's one of those things where it's like I really feel like if you're wearing the uniform, whether you're active duty or National Guard or reserves,
I feel like there's a certain obligation.
You have a job to do. Like, you need to know what is going on in the world so that you can mentally prepare yourself for the shit in case you get sent there. It's like, yeah, reading the news or keeping up with up-to-date stuff isn't going to prepare you a whole bunch of stuff, but it's a foundation. You know? You got to know what your job is going to entail. Are you going to be super fucking busy, or is this just going to be a routine thing that we go deal with and then it's going to be done within like a couple of days? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You never know what you're going into. So, and the fact that we live in a day in the world of information now where it's in our pockets, like, I mean, shit, you can watch the war in Ukraine on your fucking phone. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like if you're part of that job and part of that community, you should probably at least keep up with what's going in the world, and don't do it through like CNN or anything like that, because you're not going to get the whole thing. You're not going to get
Alex Jones.
Yeah, frogs are gay.
Yep.
But at least try and find some outlet where you can stay up to date, and cross-check your references and cross-check your information if you can. Sometimes you can't, sometimes you can. That, and I watch the Sean Ryan show. I like the Sean Ryan show. He's really good. He brings like a lot of good people in there. Anyways, not trying to like fucking sponsor handles or anything like that, because fuck it. But so if you another question I had was like, because we're going back onto the cryptid thing. If you could pick your favorite cryptid, if you have a favorite cryptid, what would it be?
Mothman, easy.
Oh, dude, me too.
Mothman, bro.
Fuck yeah.
I want to drink with the Mothman. I want to party with the Mothman.
The Mothman sounds. This is gonna sound stupid. The Mothman sounds like a chill bro who's literally just been trying to tell you, "Hey, dude, just gonna let you know some shit's about to happen. You should probably prepare for it."
That's exactly what I imagine he sounds like.
Because people are like, anytime we see the Mothman, something bad happens. It's like, maybe he's just trying to tell you fuckers to stop being dumb and pay attention to what you're doing.
He probably just doesn't realialize that the people can't hear him.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Hey,
you should go over there or else it's going to kill you.
or like, hey, I've been trying to tell you that I put in a warrant for this bridge. Like, it's just out of code, and it looks like it's going to fall any minute now. Just letting you know, you might want to deal with that, and the next day the bridge collapses.
Anyway, I'm going to head over to Triple T's.
Yeah.
Like, feel free to join me, bro.
Do you want any coffee? I got decaf if you're feeling it.
God, ever since I was a kid, I thought the Mothman was so cool.
Dude, the Mothman is probably one of the coolest freaking cryptids I've ever read about. Like, Nessie, cool, it's fine, it's a fucking dinosaur, whatever. The Mothman, though, bruh.
That's so cool. You ever seen the Mothman Prophecies?
Yes.
That's such a cool movie.
Yeah,
Soundtrack
dude.
is baller.
Yeah, man. I honestly wish they would make another, like an up-to-date Mothman movie.
Yeah.
I would love that so much.
God.
I'm surprised that no one has hopped onto the idea of making movies about cryptids. Like, how could you not?
There's a million different Bigfoot movies.
Well, yeah, because
on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Because Bigfoot is the one that makes money. Because everyone knows about Sasquatch. Everyone knows about Sasquatch.
I knew a guy at my second unit who was super into cryptid hunting, and he was convinced that Bigfoot was real. He had like a wallet with like the silhouette of Bigfoot on it, and it said "I believe" underneath it.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of believe Bigfoot is a thing. I have a shaker bottle that says, "Can you spot me, bro?"
Oh my god, that's brilliant.
And it's got a Bigfoot silhouette on it. But it's one of those things where it's like the world is big, the world is fucking weird, and you can't tell me that there are some things that happen on this planet that are just unexplainable.
Like what?
I mean, now you gotta make me think about it.
I mean, the taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Well, so one of the biggest things, and this has
Really? Nothing?
Shut up.
Damn.
This has nothing to do with like cryptids, but like the fact that we found out that the Earth is literally vibrating on its own fucking frequency, and recently that frequency just changed. That's a real thing.
What?
You haven't heard about that?
No.
So the Earth itself is vibrating on a level of frequency that we have become attuned to. And it has been scientifically proven that the reasons why astronauts, if they're in space for too long, they develop like depression and a lot of other different like symptoms. Look it up. It's real. It's because they've been off the surface of the Earth for too long, and their bodies have come out of frequency. It's a thing. There's a lot of research that goes into it.
That's kind of weird.
And this isn't like one of those things like some dude in his garage has like found out himself. Like, no, this is like scientifically proven. And apparently there was a study where they have been monitoring their frequency, and the frequency has just recently changed. And a lot of people are claiming that the Earth is moving into a new era, and which is kind of spooky,
I can vibe with that.
Right?
I myself am in my new era. I like to think that I vibrate on a different frequency than the.
I bet you do.
I'm sorry.
I bet you do, and your wife has the controller.
Yes.
But yeah, like, so there's that, and then there, don't even get me started on the fucking ocean. I'm terrified of the open ocean. I am.
Yeah, that shit's scary.
The fact that scientists can confidently say we know more about space, which I find is bullshit. We know more about space than our own oceans.
That's
and I'm
fine.
like, how?
That's fine. Sharks are scary as fuck.
Just saying, dude. Weird noises coming from the open waters. And people are like, oh, it's just icebergs. Icebergs, my ass.
Yeah, that's Cthulhu coded. For sure.
I hate you.
Well, it is. Yeah, I wouldn't be caught dead doing any deep sea diving.
You couldn't get me on a fucking boat. You couldn't. I've told friends before, like, if you try and force me to go on, like, any kind of cruise ship, yacht, or anything like that, and you think you're going to get me in the open ocean, do not be surprised if I punch you in the face.
Cruise ship, maybe.
No, not even.
But
Because I've seen the Titanic.
Oh, my goodness.
Shut up.
Hubris. Hubris is what that was.
Okay? And it can be repeated.
I want to go on a cruise. I want to go on a vacation.
I don't. Humans were made to be on Earth, on solid ground, and that's where I will remain.
Very well.
I will not. Even going to the beach, I don't go any deeper than my waist. I just don't. There's only been one time I've gone snorkeling, and that was when I went to Oahu, and that was because I could see everything because the water was so damn clear. That is the only time.
Very well.
Yep. If I can't see it, my brain fights me every single time. Even at the lake. Like sometimes if I go too deep in a lake and the water's like really, really murky, my anxiety just starts spiking. It's one of those things where it's like if I can't see what's beneath me and it's so dark, my brain starts filling in the gaps with all the worst shit possible.
Yeah, it's fucking scary.
Yeah, it's like it's that call of the void thing. You know? Like it's that I stared into the abyss and the abyss stared back. Yeah, it's one of those. Like something's watching me and I can feel it.
The abussy.
The abussy. But no, man, like I do believe in some things that could possibly still be real. And we just haven't seen it yet. That or they just haven't told us that they found it. Because that is also a possibility.
Like the clitoris. I'm sorry.
What are you on today?
I don't know,
What
man.
are you on today? Michaela, hit the button. Tell him to shut up. She's not listening.
She can't hear you.
I know. Oh man. But yeah, I think that there could be a possibility that there is some shit out there that can't be explained by science. I mean, shit, science can't hardly explain itself half the damn time.
What are you talking about?
Molecules, man. Anyways, we're gonna get sidetracked.
Midichlorians, man.
We're gonna.
That's like the whole purpose of science, Caleb, is to explain stuff.
Yeah, but there's also some.
What do you mean science can't explain itself?
Well, there's also some stuff that it's just they explain it to a certain point and then they just stop.
Yeah, it's because you gotta look into it a little bit more.
Well, no, so it's like I don't know if you've seen I can't remember the comedian's name, but he made a solid point where he's talking about molecules and how like everything is made of molecules, which makes mass and so on and so forth. And science says that molecules can move, like can push through each other. But how is it that if I'm made of molecules and this chair is made of molecules, I can't phase through it, or we can't phase through each other, you know? And it's like when you ask a scientist why that is, they're just like, it's just cuz.
They're probably still looking into it.
Yeah, I know. But that's what I'm saying. It's like right now they can't explain it. And it's their job to explain it.
Lots of things. They can't explain why you pull no bitches. You ever think of that?
I'm sorry, just because I don't put a ring on it yet doesn't mean that I don't pull bitches. Thank you. We're not going to talk about that. You fuck.
You wish that you could.
Kmart Shakespearean motherfucker.
Kmart Shakespearean.
Yeah, with the man bun and the braids in the back.
It's not a man bun. It's a ponytail.
It's a man bun.
It's a tail.
Oh, sorry. That makes it better?
Yeah.
Fucking orphan. Anyways.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, you hurt my feelings.
I'm sorry. You make black jokes at me all the damn time. Anyway, we're gonna progress on because if we stay here, we're just gonna talk about everything under the fucking sun. A new segment that I kind of wanted to introduce to the podcast.
What do you got?
Military history of the day. And did you know that January 20th is technically the anniversary of the Battle of Inchon?
No.
Yeah. Battle of Inchon, dude.
I don't know anyone that knows that.
Honestly, they should. It's actually part of it. It's in history books. I remember learning about this in history. It's not my fault that you don't know how to fucking read.
I agree. Now regale us.
Yeah, that's why I went to Air Force and you were fucking Marine. Anyways, yeah, Battle of Inchon. So if you don't know what the Battle of Inchon is, on January 20th in the 1950, I don't have a direct date, and also sidetrack. I looked up this information, and it was like so many different dates. Don't follow Wikipedia. Just don't ever follow fucking Wikipedia, dude. When I looked this up, Google told me that January 20th was the Battle of Inchon's anniversary, and I checked other websites to vet that source. I went back to Wikipedia, and they were like September 19th of 1950. I was like, why am I getting 3 separate dates on this when it's in a history book? Anyways, for those that don't know what the Battle of Inchon was, shut up. The Battle of Inchon, it was a surprise amphibious assault that was it was executed and planned by General MacArthur, I believe. Let me look. Yeah, General MacArthur, and it was actually kind of like a daring thing. Like they really needed to do it, and it was an amphibious assault where they sent an attacking force deep behind enemy lines to cut the North Koreans off and to take back the city of Seoul in South Korea. And fucking thank God it worked, because that was actually it was one of those battles that turned the whole Korean War kind of around.
I did not know that, actually.
Yeah. It was a big morale boost because at that time we were taking like a lot of hits and we were taking a lot of defeats from the North Koreans. But when they executed the plan, it went pretty well. We took Seoul back. We pushed the North Koreans back like hard. And then what was it? Oh, it was also like a big cut in their supply lines and communication lines. So it was a big turning point. So if you didn't know that, January 20th, the anniversary of Battle of Inchon. If you're interested, look it up. It's in history books. Don't follow Wikipedia, please, because it's just going to lead you astray. Yeah, learn how to source your own material. Anyway, moving on.
While we're here,
yeah,
do you want to do mill slang of the week?
Do you have a mill slang of the week?
I do.
Okay, cool, because I couldn't think of anything.
I wonder if it means the same.
Hit me with it.
Across Air Force and Marines. But it's smoke check.
Yeah.
So,
smoke check's a good one.
Smoke check can mean many things.
There's also smoke break.
I don't know about that one. But smoke check, it could mean killing someone. I smoke checked that dude.
You smoked him.
Yeah, you killed his ass.
Yeah.
But it could also mean getting slayed.
Yeah.
In PT. Like if you're out there running like 10 miles and mile 7, you got your slay face on and you're seeing God and you're thinking backwards hieroglyphics. Like you're getting smoke checked.
Your legs are pins and needles at the moment.
Yeah, you go to basic training, you say the wrong thing to the wrong instructor and they yoke you up, they're gonna smoke check you.
Yeah.
They're gonna make you do push-ups until your arms break.
You'll be sitting in a puddle of your own filth by the end of the day.
Yeah. I think it's funny because this gig I have right now, there's some heavy lifting involved. And I'll like, at the end of it, I'll be like, oh, man, that smoke check me. And they're like, wait, what? The smoke check. What's a smoke check? And it's like, oh, duh, I'm stupid. These people don't know what that means.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people should learn how to be well versed in military slang, because I feel like it could help them out in a lot of situations. Education in some sorts, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we don't have a military resource at this time, because I tried finding one, and honestly I couldn't find a good one. Not one that couldn't be looked up.
Yeah, that's kind of my job anyway.
Yeah, it is. So
and failed.
If you fucking suck.
I know.
But moving on. So
I swallow too.
Oh my God. Oh no.
My parents died before they could set boundaries.
Oh my God. Just go there, huh?
What? It's
I mean,
true.
I did call you an orphan. Anyways, so we're gonna move on to the second topic, and this one I figured you would really like because you're a huge fan of Resident Evil, and I feel like there's a lot of people who find this podcast are gonna be like big fans of Resident Evil too. So the question is that I came up with for you, and I feel like this is gonna be fun for you, is that if, let's say, your main character in the Resident Evil universe,
right,
You're working for what, the BCAA?
BSAA.
BSAA. I always get the second letter. Fuck.
Biohazard Security Assessment Alliance.
Okay, so you're working for the BSAA before they started doing shenanigans.
Right.
You have 2 weapons that you can take in your arsenal, and you have to pick them from the list of named character weapons from the game.
Named character weapons. Okay.
Yeah, so like Samurai Edge, Red 9, Matilda, the Hydra. You know what I'm talking about.
Right.
The special weapons that everyone knows about.
Okay.
Which 2 are you taking?
Well, seeing as I own a replica Samurai Edge,
I knew you were going to do it.
Samurai Edge for one.
Actually, no, I want to put a stipulation on that because I knew you were going to say the Samurai Edge, and I made a mental note to do this. You can't pick the Samurai Edge because you already have one. I want you to pick something else.
You're a bitch.
I want you to pick something else.
The Silver Ghost.
Ah. Is it Silver Ghost or Silver Serpent?
Silver Ghost.
Which one is Silver Ghost?
Silver Ghost is the name of Leon's handgun in the original Resident Evil 4.
Oh, okay. Leon's handgun. Sorry, I know. I forgot about that. Silver Serpent was Barry's Magnum, right?
That's Silver Serpent sounds familiar, but that's the Magnum Python.
Yeah, it's Barry's signature weapon.
I think you might be right.
Yeah, I think so.
But the Silver Ghost is only referred to as such in the Resident Evil deck building game.
Mm-hmm.
It's very clearly Leon's pistol.
Okay.
But that 5 times critical headshot multiplier. Sauce.
Okay, that's one. What's the other one?
It's got to be named.
Named.
Damn.
Or if it's an iconic weapon from the game, not just something that you find laying in like a gun shop anywhere. It's got to be something that is a weapon that is remembered. Like you can say the mansion shotgun from the first game because you remember that one because you had to pick it up off the wall and it set a trap if you didn't think to grab the broken shotgun from the other room. You know what I'm saying? It could be one. It can be an iconic weapon, but it has to be an iconic weapon or a named weapon.
Okay, so the SIG 5.56 that's only in Resident Evil 5 would not count.
No, because that one, that's not a named weapon.
There's a lot of good choices. There's the grenade launcher, there's the bolt gun, the mine thrower if you want to get stupid.
Yeah, that's
Chicago
the one.
typewriter.
That's the one from Resident Evil. I can't remember the numbers. Which one's Raccoon City when you're playing Joe Valentine? Is that
3.
2? Is that 3?
3.
Yeah. So the mine one is from 3, right?
It's in 3 and 4. But only the original for 3.
Gotcha.
I believe. Yeah. Shoot. I don't know about my second one. Part of me wants to say the Killer 7.
I knew it. I had a feeling you'd say it.
Just because it's a giant 45.
Yeah.
Did you know that's actually named after another Capcom game?
Yeah. Did you
Cool, huh?
Did you also know that the gun was I believe it was inspired from one of the Terminators, like the early Terminator?
That checks out, actually.
Yeah, because I think the first Terminator, Arnold had a long 45 ACP with like one of the first renditions of a fucking laser pointer, which took the length. It had to be mounted on a scope ring, and it was the same length as
That
the
is
fucking
so
gun.
janky. I think, is that the one on the cover of like Terminator 2?
Yeah,
Where he's,
I
like,
think so.
Holding the...
It's the long boy 45, and that rod. Everyone for some reason thought it was a scope, but it's a laser pointer. That was like the first rendition of laser pointers for fucking firearms, and the thing was as long as the damn gun itself.
Okay, so I'm gonna argue this one. It's the combat shotgun.
Ooh, okay.
Because that's in the Resident Evil 1 remake. It's in Resident Evil 3. It's in Resident Evil 4 and 5.
Okay.
It's the gray shotgun with the pistol grip.
I would say that that's iconic because if it keeps coming back, then I feel like it's iconic.
Okay, I'm going to go with that one then.
Yeah.
It's called the M3. I think it's called the M3 in Resident Evil 5. Combat shotgun in Resident Evil 1. Do I have my things mixed up? The riot gun in Resident Evil 4. That's named. I could choose that.
You can, yeah.
Yeah, riot gun.
Okay. So mine were really hard to figure out because it was like there were so many cool guns from the history of all the Resident Evil games, even like the recent ones. One of my runner-ups I'm not gonna say I want to take it, but one of my runner-ups is Wolfsbane from Village.
Ooh.
That one was hot. That one was so cool.
You could say hand cannon.
Well, it is the Magnum for Village.
Yeah.
But like it's one of those where like I don't want to just call it a hand cannon just because of how dope that thing looks.
That thing is cool.
Yeah.
You know what I almost said? The Lightning Hawk.
I thought about it.
That would have been my primary if it didn't shoot 50 rounds.
I thought about it. So I'm gonna say that my first one is definitely gonna be a Samurai Edge. Just because
You can't pick what I picked.
you didn't pick it because you're not allowed to fucking
If I can't pick it, you can't pick it.
You have a model right there. I don't.
Well, you
Well,
pick
hold on.
something else.
Well, hold on. I want the Samurai Edge from Biohazard.
Why? The recoil is ridiculous on that thing.
It's manageable. It's the same as a hand cannon.
Yeah, you want hand cannon recoil as your backup weapon?
Yes.
You're goofy for that.
No. Absolutely. How is that goofy?
I would need to hear what your primary weapon would be then.
The primary. Okay, the other runner-up for the primary was the
Is the pistol the primary?
No.
That's the secondary.
Pistol secondary.
Okay.
I had a runner-up for the primary, and it was the Force's rocket launcher from the earlier games. When you find them on the balcony, pecked like to death by
the
crows.
grenade launcher?
The grenade launcher, yeah, the first grenade launcher.
Yeah.
That one was interesting to me. But if I had to pick a primary, damn. Oh man. Honestly, it would probably have to be the I just lost it. It's a shotgun. It's not the Hydra, because fuck that. I'm not shooting a triple barrel shotgun.
Why not?
Just not doing it.
Striker.
No, not the the Striker would be fun.
Not the drum-fed one?
Not the drum-fed one, because you got to think about reload speed on that one. Like, yeah, you have a lot of volume, but that thing is a pain in the ass to put bullets back in if you've seen a real Striker.
That thing was the magnum opus for the original Resident Evil 4. In the remake, it's not as good as the riot gun. In Resident Evil 5, you can't use it.
No, yeah.
It's dog shit.
But from Resident Evil 5, the shotgun that you pick up through the game early on, and it's actually a good shot. Like
the Ithaca?
The Ithaca as a primary. I would love to take the Ithaca.
I don't know if that counts.
Why? It's a named weapon.
What's it called?
The Ithaca.
That's the actual name of the weapon, isn't it?
Yes.
I don't think they call it that.
But it's like it is. It's the Ithaca.
That's the shotgun you want out of all the cool shotguns. The Ithaca is the one you go with.
Well, I also couldn't you put me on the spot and my brain dumped everything at the minute. That was the one I could remember. If it's between the Ithaca or damn it. I keep fucking losing it, man.
What kind of gun is it? I can help you remember it.
It's a rifle.
Sniper rifle?
No, not sniper. No, fuck that. I'm not taking a sniper rifle in the middle of
assault rifle?
It's an assault rifle.
TMP.
Ooh, yeah, probably.
Well, no, that's only in.
I would. To be honest, it's TMP's a good one too, just because you have.
I would argue MP5 because MP5 is in Resident Evil 2 remake.
Well, yeah.
Resident Evil 4 remake. Is it in Resident Evil 4 remake?
The TMP.
It is, and Resident Evil 5.
Yeah, the TMP and the MP5 are all.
I'm actually going to switch my answer to the MP5.
I would probably take the TMP because you can still get the volume. You may not get the range, but at the same time, like I don't know.
The riot gun is good for everything.
The riot gun is good when you're like in close quarters because it's just like it's a fucking shotgun, man. But like, yeah, it would probably be the Biohazard Samurai Edge because yeah, it's got recoil, but that thing hits like a damn truck and it's manageable if you watch it from the game. Because like if Chris Redfield can do it, I can fucking do it. Actually, I'm not gonna say that.
What?
I'm not gonna say that because Chris Redfield's a fucking unit. Like,
can you punch a 2-ton boulder?
I knew you were to bring the boulder up. We're get into that later, bro. We'll get into that later.
Fucking you what?
No one has plot armor like Leon Kennedy and Chris Redfield.
Hey, Chris Redfield doesn't need plot armor with those massive muscles. He's got meat armor.
The man gets beat to almost to a fucking pulp by a supernatural genetically engineered human, and then
Stands back up. It's like, I could do this all day.
Homie comes back punching fucking mountain boulders made out of fucking molten rock.
You know, in Resident Evil Village, when you fight Heisenberg, in like his final form, he says like he's talking about Chris Redfield, and he's like, I don't care about that boulder punching asshole.
That's funny.
Did you know he's voiced by the same person who voices Astarion in Baldur's Gate? Neil Newbin or Neil Newborn.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's cool.
You can really tell like if you do a side by side.
Yeah, that's one of his better roles. Fuck Astarion. Anyways, we're not.
We've already talked about how much of a bitch you are for killing Astarion.
I didn't kill him. I just turned him over. I just turned him over. I turned him into the Monster Hunter.
You're a bitch for that.
Yeah, fuck him.
Heaven forbid we like have character complexity.
Fuck him. It's not character complexity. The dude's just a fucking creep and an asshole.
No. Did you ever wonder why?
I don't care.
Did you ever wonder if he was a product of, I don't know, his experiences and thought he couldn't be good?
I don't care.
Heaven fucking forbid.
I don't care. Just because you have a bisexual problem.
I don't have a bisexual problem. I have a bisexual solution.
Oh, see, here we go. Anyways, I don't care. I can't stand Astarion. I don't even give a shit to like get his name right. Out of all side rant. Out of all the fucking characters I hate him the most. And Gale is a close second, and Will is also on that list.
You don't like Will?
I hate Will.
Why?
Because he's
black?
No, what? Homie, I'm black. Shut up. No, but it's one of those things where it's like they really made it hard to enjoy a lot of those characters from the get-go because it's like
someone argued that's by design.
Well, they're so fucking annoying. Like my attention span cannot deal with it. I just can't. Like I want to play the game. I don't care about you. If I ask you a question 5 fucking times, stop giving me riddles. Just give me what I want to know. Like the moment when you realize he made a pact with I can't remember that fucking bitch's name. And you go, why did you do that? And he just keeps dancing around the fucking question, no matter how long you play with him. It's just like, I'm tired of you. I don't want to deal with you anymore. Like I'm so
sounds like you're just impatient.
A little bit of that, but I'm also just so over over the riddles. I just hate cryptic answers.
Is it riddles or is it?
It's deflection.
Let's say you're in a life or death situation.
It's deflection. We're not playing real psychology here. He's a fucking game character, and I can choose.
It's natural.
I can choose who I want to have in my group, and it just happens to be that every single person in my group that I enjoy having there are all women.
Yeah.
Except for Lae'zel. I fucking hate Lae'zel.
Yeah, we know. You hate any character with any kind of complexity.
I can't stand Lae'zel. I can't stand it. But I'm also just not a full fan of Githyanki as like...
Say you meet someone new at work. They vibe with you. You think they're really cool, and they serve your best interest it matters.
This is a fucking video game. We're not talking about real life.
And then they're like, hey, Caleb, tell us about your trauma. Are you going to tell them immediately about your trauma? You're going to say, hey, maybe let's become better friends before I, tell you about my problems.
Not me being here and just admitting the fact that I just cannot stand Astorian's voice. I just can't. I hate the... Oh.
Get out of my house.
It reminds me of Ron, stop. Oh, Leviosa. I can't deal with it, man. That's that super overbearing posh motherfucker. I can't stand him. And then he tries to drink your blood without your consent. Already on the shit list.
Yeah, that was kind of fucked.
On the shit list. On the shit list. If we're gonna pull that card out. Anyways, moving on. Back to Resident Evil.
Yeah, let's not.
But yeah, Astorian, Crete, Gale, fucking creep. Will, just annoying. Karlach, bae. I will die for Karlach. I will die for Muscle Mommy.
I was gonna say you just want Muscle Mommy.
No, she's just so adorable and so wholesome. You cannot sit here and tell me that she is not perfect.
I'm not sitting here and telling you that.
Yeah, because you want fucking Asterian's dick in your ass.
Wait, okay. All right. I will not deny that, but I will also admit that I romanced Karlak first.
Karlak is the only one I romanced. I tried romancing Shadowheart, and I just found that she's annoying as well.
You are so scared of character complexity.
It's not character complexity.
Yes, it
Karlak
is. Have you
Karlak
beaten the
is
game?
Yes. Yes, I know how their stories end. Do I feel a little bit better about them? I do. Do I still stand by what I'm saying?
I think you're full of
Absolutely.
shit.
No.
How do you know how their stories end?
Maybe I just want to see the fucking world burn.
Were you a bad guy in your first playthrough?
No.
Really?
Yep.
You sound like it.
I just have fucking views, bro. I just have views that I stand by.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to Resident Evil.
Uninformed views.
Shut up.
For all that info searching you do, you're pretty fucking uninformed.
What do you mean?
You played through all of their quest lines.
Not all of their quest lines.
And you beat the game.
I beat the game, but I didn't go through all their quest lines. Like I said, I have beaten the game, and yes, I feel a little bit more remorseful about how I feel about them, but at the same time, it's not enough because A, I don't care enough, and B, they're fucking not real. So I can play the game how I want to fucking play the games, James. Shut the fuck up. Be happy with your little fucking vampire. I'm gonna be okay with my demon hot muscle mommy who wants...
I too prefer the demon muscle mommy.
Listen, uppies. That's all I gotta say.
Oh
Moving on. Moving forward.
Please tell me you played as a fucking gnome.
No.
Damn it.
I didn't.
Oh, that would have been so much funnier.
Anyways, moving forward. So yeah, it would probably be the TMP and Biohazard's Samurai Edge.
If you had to choose a different pistol, what do you think you'd choose? Like if that one was locked.
That's a hard one. That's a hard one because there's a lot. Honestly, if I had to pick a different pistol, it'd probably be Wolfsbane. If I had to pick a Magnum, it's Wolfsbane.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to do a cop out and say like the dual gold
The
Lugers because I feel like
I didn't even think of that. That would have been a good choice.
I feel like that one's like going to be a popular choice just because they're fucking gold.
Well, I mean, a lot of people haven't even played that one.
True, that's true. That is true.
It's one of the more difficult ones.
That's true. But if I had to pick a pistol and if I was going to go for something that I want to shoot them one time and not have to fucking deal with it because it's Resident Evil, it'd probably be a Magnum, and if I had to choose a Magnum, it would be Wolfsbane, just because they're hot. That fucking gun is hot.
That gun is hot.
And with like the new renditions of Resident Evil and seeing the new mutations, it wouldn't hurt to have a gun that could be effective against normal shit and lichens. So
I would have thought you would have chosen the Blacktail from Resident Evil 4.
I like the Blacktail, but when I found Wolfsbane playing through Village, I was just like, oh, because I also have a soft spot for like old weaponry.
Yeah.
And the fact that the Wolfsbane
That
is
thing
like
is so cool.
I naturally find the old Colt Army 6-shooter pistols to be just sexy. And
When did you play Village?
I played Village when it first came out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, you're talking about it like you played it recently, and I'm like,
No,
you're making me want to play it again.
It was. I'm so versed on this right now, and it's on the top of my mind because when I was writing the itinerary for us to like, just for topics and shit, I really have been wanting to talk to you about Resident Evil shit because I feel like it'd be a great episode. But also because I was writing through it and like doing all my research for the topics, it got me on a Resident Evil kick, and I just started watching shit on Resident Evil. So,
what was I going to say? I was going to ask you another question about one of the guns. Fuck it, I don't remember.
I'm waiting.
The Lightning Hawk is the Magnum I'd choose.
Yeah, I had a feeling you'd say Lightning Hawk.
Just because it's a Desert Eagle.
Yeah, that's more your style, to be honest. Like, I could see you rocking the Lightning Hawk.
Resident Evil 5, infinite ammo. Take your, don't even deal with the regular 9mm pistols. Put that in your pistol slot.
Oh, yeah. Would you consider Matilda being a viable weapon if you had to pick it up?
In a Resident Evil universe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why. I just don't like Matilda. Matilda's like my least favorite gun, and I know it's so iconic because it's like It's like one of the first guns you see with Leon, but it's like I hate the way it looks. And I know it only looks that way because the games were made in like the 90s, and at the time a lot of those guns were versed off of H&K, and H&K is very well known for fucking making weird ass looking guns, but they're great. So that's actually the one thing I found very interesting about when I was doing all my research for these topics was that the developers in Japan really like H&K.
Yeah.
They really do.
I don't care for the 9mm revolvers.
No, 9mm, in my opinion, just in like real life and in Resident Evil, like there's no fucking point for you to carry a 9mm revolver.
Like if I have a revolver, I want that thing to pack a punch.
Yeah, if the only way I'm carrying a revolver if it's a Magnum, and that Magnum being the Wolfsbane. Because if I'm gonna die with style.
Colt Python's nice.
Yeah, that one is just historical. That one is just the iconic Magnum, because and that's in real life too. If you're trying to find like an old school, like authentic Colt like Python, you're paying a shit ton of money for it because it's a collector's item.
Yeah,
like I'm talking about like full on Vietnam era like. And if you find out that it was actually used by a service member, it doubles the fucking price. Like it's nuts.
The Broken Butterfly, I think, is the coolest Resident Evil Magnum.
That is my runner-up too for Magnums. Is the Broken Butterfly. That thing was so cool.
I was like, Resident Evil 4 Remake was such a solid game, bro. But
yeah.
I gotta say, I was disappointed when the Broken Butterfly wasn't break action. In the original, it's break action. He loads it and then he flicks it with his wrist.
Oh yeah, the sound and the animation for the gun itself in the original Resident Evil 4 was like just good. But also,
the new one, it's just a cylinder that he pops out.
But also, would you also say that it's also a disappointment to find out that they put a fucking Crimson Trace laser pointer in the fucking handle? I hated that.
I loved that. I thought it was cool.
No, I hated it. Because like I said, I have a soft spot for when it comes to old like army pistols, like Colt break actions, the Navy pistols, all of them. They all are just like historically sexy when you look at them, right. Whether they be black powder or if they take the actual like cartridges. I love those revolvers so much. Not because they have so much history, but like when you just look at it, you just can't help but go, oh, because when you see the black metal with the gold trim, ooh, baby.
Sauce.
Ah, so goated. But it's like, for me, if I was in a situation where I found one of those and the first thought that came to mind was, I'm going to put a shitty-ass looking laser pointer on it, you might as well just fucking toss it.
It don't look that bad.
It looks terrible.
It doesn't look that bad.
It looks terrible.
The Killer 7's laser looks terrible.
Well, I won't say it looks terrible. It's just tacky in my mind. In my mind.
It looks tacky?
It looks tacky. The Killer 7 definitely looks fucking terrible, but at the same time, it's kind of goated because that's like history in itself too.
Yeah, it's got a right to look terrible.
It's got a, yeah, because back then that was like when they were trying to figure out how to make accessories for firearms. So, yeah.
The PRL 412 laser cannon.
I didn't want to go to laser cannon just because I feel like that was a cop out. Because of course, when you have games like this, there's going to be some sort of sci-fi weapon.
Yeah.
I don't like picking sci-fi weapons. Although in the game, I definitely would pick it up.
Did you know you can get a lightsaber in Village?
Oh yeah, that was. I did know that. Sorry, I didn't think about that. But
yeah.
Also, just not saying that either. Because like, do you know how?
I just thought it was cool that you could get it.
I'm just saying. You know how broken you would be if you actually got a fucking usable lightsaber in real life. If you're in a Resident Evil universe, nothing would be able to touch you. You would still probably have some issues with like bosses and everything, but like,
oh, it's still not. It's not very good. It doesn't work the way a lightsaber would.
Well, I'm just saying like an actual like lightsaber.
Oh yeah,
like
be trivialized.
Freaking chainsaw ganados. Fuck you, bitch! I'm cutting your chainsaw in pieces, and then you're next.
Did you know you could parry the chainsaw in the Resident Evil 4 remake? Well, you can't parry it, but you can block
it with your gun.
No, with your knife. It'll break your knife.
Oh, screw that. There's no way in hell I would try that.
That's some Leon Kennedy shit.
Dog.
I ain't trying that.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, you want to talk about ridiculous plot armor. Just, those dudes are not human. They're not.
You can't seen Leon's triceps in the remake?
Yes.
Good Lord.
Anytime I think about Resident Evil, though, I think about Chris Redfield and how that dude's just an absolute impossible fucking unit.
I wanted to be him so bad as a kid.
Everyone wants to be Chris Redfield. Everyone. Like, punching boulders and everything. Oh, man. I looked at that video and just remembered how ridiculous that part of the mission was.
Oh, my God. That's the final boss.
I know. Like, that was like a full-on molten rock, dense to the core, fucking lava boulder. And this dude just right hooks that bitch. And not only does he right hooks it and like shoulder checks that thing into the lava, it rolls 20 feet to the lava.
It's so jump the shark.
This moment I saw that, I was like, there's no way this dude is not genetically enhanced.
Okay, you got to give Capcom, you got to give it to Capcom. If the big baddie of one of their most successful IPs, how do we kill him? What if the final fight is in the middle of a about to erupt volcano?
So
badass.
I will say that is the only reasons why any of this holds weight is because it's Capcom. And also it's a fucking video game and it's not real, but it's Capcom. Like, that's the only reasons why any of Resident Evil holds weight is because it's Capcom. They did such a good job with the franchise that everyone just loves it and doesn't give a shit about if it makes sense or not. Except for, what was it, 5? 5 got a lot of heat.
5 did get a lot of heat.
5, why did 5 get so much heat? I thought it was such a good one.
It was a good game.
Why did they give so much heat? Was it because of like the whole Jill Valentine thing, or?
No, it was because the zombies were mostly black.
Oh. Well, hot take. You're in the middle of Africa.
That's kind of why it died down.
Yeah.
It's like it takes place in Africa.
Like, I don't know.
Resident Evil 4 didn't get called racist.
And that's not
to my knowledge, it didn't get called racist because you're killing Spanish people.
Yeah, and that's not like me being an asshole. Like, you're literally in the middle of Africa, and Africa is like a very poor country. So having a biohazard break out would actually be detrimental to the population. Like, that would be such a hard thing to contain. That's wild.
And I mean, people conveniently glanced over the fact that your partner is also from Africa and you work with a black BSAA operative.
And you're also working for the African government too. Like, you're trying to help them.
Are you?
I think so. I think the BSAA was contacted by the African government. Or not, I don't want to say African government because Africa is the continent, but whatever city that you're in. I can't remember the name of the city that you
get.
I think so, yeah. I think they were contacted by the government, letting them know, like, hey, there's a biohazard outbreak, right? And we need help.
Yeah, because I think the BSAA is a global service.
Yeah, because it was also like the center point. Well, I think that was the other reason. I did hear that. What the other reasons why it caught flack is because that game made it sound like that the flower to heaven or something like that. The flower that they found that was like the precursor, the progenitor to the T virus was only found in the caves in Africa.
Right.
And that's why it also caught flack because like people didn't like that origin story for like the T virus.
Why?
I don't know.
Why is that?
I don't know, man.
Like, you're cool with the progenitor virus making leeches into a hive mind?
It's like
that was lame to me.
It's the same thing or the mold. I wasn't a fan of the mold.
I like the mold.
I thought the mold was cool. It was a concept that I could get behind and it would make sense to me. I just thought it was a little silly that they kept calling it mold.
I liked it. I thought it was
like
cool.
if you would have said something like a fungal infection, because I mean technically mold is fungus. That would have been better for me, but like the mold, like calling it mold, I don't know. Calling it mold made it not as impactful as it should have been. Because like anytime,
you think so?
Well, for me, anytime I heard them talk about mold, I just kept thinking about moldy bread, and I'm like, well, I'm just shooting moldy bread monsters.
If you think that's unhinged, do you know about the T. Veronica virus?
Yes.
Do you know what its big shtick is?
Mm-mm.
It makes your blood flammable.
Yeah, that's right.
Like,
oh yeah, I forgot.
As soon as it leaves your body, it catches fire.
Yeah.
And you could shoot it out. kind of badass. Very jump the shark, but
it's
badass.
badass, but that's also very gimmicky in my way. And like they were like, how do we make this next boss badass? We make the virus make their blood flammable.
Hey, it was effective.
It was.
I was probably 14 years old when I played Code Veronica, and Alexia scared the shit out of me.
Well, now I will say that out of all of the Resident Evil games that I've played, I will say 4 was probably the one that would scare me the most.
4, really?
Well, because it's not necessarily like scary as in like scary movie scary. I just thought the enemies were so well made. Like
Creepy as hell.
creepy as fuck.
Oh, yeah. Regenerators are terrifying.
Regenerators are terrifying. Then there's I can't remember his name. He looks like fucking Rasputin every time you fucking fight him, and then he turns into like a giant centipede looking thing. Sadler, I think. Like his head, his spinal column. He becomes like this fucking disgusting, grotesque centipede fucking boss fight. It's just gross.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly. I really like the way they did the Krauser fight in the new Resident Evil. How it's just a parry fight.
Yeah.
I really like that you could parry with your knife in the remake.
This might be a hot take. I was not a big the Biohazard I found actually terrifying. Until you fight Jack maybe for like the 7th time, and I'm just like, okay, now this is just getting annoying.
The end of the Baker house is kind of where it went downhill for me.
That's what I'm saying. Like the way they ended it, it could have been better. And like the only boss fight I found terrifying was the mother. Just because
that one was unsettling as hell.
It was unsettling as fuck, man. Like that. But then again, I will say it also got cut a little short for me in the terrifying factor because I also found her just unsufferably annoying. When like the voice lines, when she doesn't shut the fuck up through the whole fucking fight, and her voice, they really did well on her as like as a boss because like I was getting more angry the more I kept losing that battle because I just wanted to shut her the fuck up. Like I just wanted to kill her so bad so she could stop talking, and it worked. Like I don't know, when you have a character whose voice annoys the fuck out of me but is also terrifying, you've got me on like Rage 9. Like I'm ready to just fucking throw hands at that point. I'm not even scared anymore. I just want to kill you because this is like she was just annoying. And then I just didn't like the ending for the DLC when you put the Baker house completely to rest. Like I thought it was cool to play the uncle, and I thought I felt like the DLC was more fan service than it was.
It was very strange how you were fighting mold monsters with your bare hands.
So hear me out. I actually thought that was really likable because the dude is an old Vietnam vet. Like his whole backstory is he's a Vietnam. I think Jack was in Vietnam too. I think they were both vets.
I don't remember. I know that Jack was a Marine because you could find his Marine picture.
Yeah, so Jack was a Marine, and then his brother was also a Marine, and him just throwing haymakers with fucking mold monsters was like my favorite part out of the whole.
That shit was so wild.
Thing. And then of course he gets like the fucking robotic hand that makes it even better. I was like, man, yeah, I want to be a fucking 60-year-old Vietnam vet throwing haymakers with zombies. Fuck it.
That shit was so wild,
and
bro.
He was so desensitized to the whole situation.
Just like, well, another day.
Yeah, you as the player are like, oh my God, that's fucking terrifying. This dude's just like, you're an ugly son of a bitch. Wow.
The nightmares are on the outside today.
Yeah. That's what I felt like. Like he was just living a whole Vietnam nightmare, and this is just what it all looks like to him. And he's just throwing hands with Viet Cong, but dude's just throwing fucking knuckles with zombies.
Jesus,
dude, it was great. I enjoyed that DLC just for that factor. I will say that is like my least favorite Chris Redfield out of the entire series, though.
Easily,
he looked like a fat dad. He looked like a soccer dad.
A lot of people did not like The one at the end of 7.
But
I have to use the bathroom.
oh, all right. So we're gonna take a break real quick. Homie's got a pee. We'll be back. All right. Now that he's done with his pee.
It was a good pee-pee.
Okay. So since we're on the
Want me
topic,
to tell you about it?
no,
Wait, I can.
I don't want you to.
Why'd you bring it up?
Moving on to the next topic. All right. So this one is probably going to make some waves, and you know it's coming. And I did this on purpose. I want you to know.
Okay.
Who's better, Chris Redfield or Leon Kennedy?
Chris Redfield.
Oh, I was expecting you to say Leon.
No.
Shit.
Nope.
Shit.
Nope.
Oh, man.
I have had this argument with many people.
I was expecting you to fucking say Leon Kennedy because I know you're such a fan of Leon's.
I'm a fan of all of them.
Like I mean I have to say it too. Chris all day any day. Especially now now that we have broken frustrated Chris.
I love it so
who
much.
has gone rogue and has his own fucking team now. Like,
bro, that part at the end of Village where you go full Call of Duty.
Yo.
Oh, I lived for that.
I'm not going to lie. When I realized that Chris, because like at first it's never explained, because I thought Chris was still working with BSAA during the whole opening scene in Village. And when like towards the end, when everything's about to fucking go down and you just see him roll up with Wolfpack and you notice and you realize they're not aligned to anyone, I'm like, oh, that's hot. I'm like,
he's just taking a drag of a cigarette. Ethan Winters is dead.
Yeah, fucking pulls out the fucking cigarette, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's
bro
gone.
Is jaded.
He's
I am
gone.
into this.
I was like, he's done. He's fucking had it. He's over it. This team that he has, they are about to burn the whole shit down. Like, man,
The music that plays, the night vision goggles, all the ammo. Like, oh my gosh, you're making me want to replay these games, dude.
Well, so that now it makes me feel bad because I was actually really expecting to have an argument about why Chris Redfield was better than Leon Kennedy, but it looks like we're not about to have that. So what we're gonna do?
I feel like I know what you're about to say.
Well, no. So I was gonna say, like, if anyone, if you're listening to this, and if you have an argument that you would like to say, that you would like to put up against, hit us up. We'd love that. We'd love to see your rebuttal on why Leon would be better than Chris. But so here's the thing. We have jaded Chris right now, who is fucking over Umbrella shit, just completely. Just had it with BOWs.
Lost too many people.
Not
a Boy Scout anymore.
No, absolutely not. When he just flat out, when you didn't know that she was Mother Miranda, when he flat out just fucking iced Mia, I was like, oh my God.
Sorry, Ethan. Blah, 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 blah.
He's just like, Ethan, don't. Blam, blam, blam. It's like, what do you fucking mean, don't? You just killed my fucking wife. Like, who are you? I thought he was a bad guy. I thought like
everyone did.
Yeah, I thought they had turned him so jaded that he doesn't even know who he's fighting for anymore. You know, like he's just one of those. He's like a Thanos. I thought they were about to make him into Thanos.
Okay, to be fair, once they explain the whole thing,
oh yeah,
they should have told Ethan.
They should have, but at the same time,
his Wolfhound, I think, Emberize, someone on his team tells Chris at the end, like,
yeah, you should have told him.
You should have told him. It's like, well, we couldn't have. This would have led to that, and then his teammate is like, no, I get that. You should have told him.
But see, I
really liked that.
So that's what I was about to go into because I wanted to have an argument about between Chris and Leon, but now that we know that we're both on the same page, there's another subject that I could go into and just like how badass is Chris and his fucking team right now? Like you got to really think about it. You had Hunk and Alpha Team from Resident Evil, right? Or yeah, from Umbrella. And Hunk was the only one to survive from like out of all the instances, and we still don't even know where he is, if he's even still alive, which I would assume that Mr. Death is still alive and kicking somewhere. But
you know what Hunk stands for?
I heard it, I can't remember it.
Human unit not killed.
Yeah.
Because he's the only survivor on all his missions.
Yep. But so how badass do you have to be to not only be chosen, handpicked by Chris Redfield. The unit himself. He's seen it all.
Wait, Hunk?
No. Not Hunk.
Oh,
Wolfpack.
you're talking about his team.
I'm talking about Chris and Wolfpack.
Right.
How badass do you have to be handpicked by Chris Redfield, who has seen it all, fought multiple bioweapons and lived in multiple stages?
You're making me want to replay these games so bad.
And then you go into an unknown village, which, by the way, you have to remember, their convoy was attacked. And they all survived. They all regrouped with Chris to go back into the village. And you're just straight up fucking murking an army of fucking werewolves and a supernatural moldy fucking witch. And they all live. Like, these dudes, when I realized that at the end of the game, like, these dudes are the best of the best. Like, this would be Chris and Pierce if Pierce survived and they left the BSAA and made their own, like, PMC group. This is, like, the top of the top for Chris Redfield.
Right.
And just, like, it makes my mind go crazy about how hyper lethal these people actually are.
They're terrifying.
Right? Because, and then when you listen to them talk to each other, they're like a family. They're like the softest people to each other. Because, like, even like you said at the end of the game, when Umber Eyes came up and was like, you should have told him. That's like talking to a sister. Like, they're so soft but forward to each other, but when it comes down to getting the work done, bro, nothing is. I honestly think that when they saw BSAA drop their bioweapon soldiers in, I honestly thought Wolfpack was going to be able to fucking take them on without any casualties, 100%. There was no doubt.
They need to lean into that with the next one.
They would make.
Did you know Village was supposed to be about Wolfpack?
I didn't know Village itself was supposed to be about Wolfpack, but I did know that there was a DLC that was supposed to be released in the when you get to play the characters of Wolfpack and Chris. Like, that was supposed to happen and they canceled it. And I really think they should, like, capitalize on and bring it back.
Did you play the Village DLC?
No.
End of Rose?
No, but I did see it. I did watch the game.
I think it's called End of Rose.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking of End of Zoe.
I did watch
Zoe.
I did watch
Shadows of Rose.
Yeah. I did watch the gameplay of it. I didn't play it myself. It's very sad.
A very, very good ending for the Winters family.
Really good closure.
I think they're going in a different I don't think they're going to be in the sequel.
I don't think they are either. I think that they're going to play a part in the upcoming sequels coming out. Because I know we're about to get 9. Is it 9? No. Yeah, 9.
Yeah.
And we're about to see Leon come back from what I saw. From, like, the cover art that they released about Resident Evil 9, it looks like Leon is.
I haven't seen it.
It's literally. This is my speculation of what I think it's going to be. I think Leon is going to go back to the Arklay Mountains.
For what?
I don't know.
Are the Arklay Mountains even there?
Well, probably not. It's something. Because like the cover that I saw was Leon Kennedy, a very disheveled Leon Kennedy. Like, he looks the same position as Chris. Like, he looks pissed off. Like, I think this is going to be the best of Leon Kennedy that we've seen so far too. But it's like him, and then in the background you see like a rundown mansion. And the first thing that came to my mind was like the Arklay Mountains. But you have a point. They were destroyed. And the entirety of Raccoon City was also obliterated. So I don't even know if they exist anymore. But that's the cover art. I think Leon is about to do his own investigation of trying to like fully collapse Umbrella. Because like we know like Umbrella has collapsed because we saw that in
After 3.
After 3, but we also saw it in Biohazard when Blue Umbrella made its appearance.
Yeah.
But we also know that the BSAA has started dealing with its own shenanigans, and it looks like it's turning itself into its own umbrella. So, which I think Blue Umbrella might be a sub-contingent of BSAA now.
I don't know.
Because that's the only way I could see. That's the only way I could see Chris Redfield even aligning himself with the word umbrella. Because you know he hates umbrella. But I would love to see them capitalize on Wolfpack because they're so mysterious. 2, they're badass as hell. And 3, like, just the fact that Chris has his own hyper lethal special ops team and it's just them makes me wonder what else is he doing in the background.
Right.
Because, like, maybe it's just him and his small ass team hunting down Umbrella. But it also sounds like he still has ties with BSAA because at the end of Village, he was like, after they rescued Mia, they were like, "We take us to BSAA Europe headquarters because I want to find out what the fuck is going on." Like, he said that, so he still has access to BSAA. But then on top of that, at the end of Shadows of Rose DLC, when she's being escorted by we don't know who, it's just some dude in a suit, and then they drive down the road, you see that there's someone standing at the end of the road and the car stops, and I think it's Chris. I think Chris is about to get with Rose and teach her how to be an asset. I think Chris is getting set up to actually wipe out the remainders of the problems that are happening with the biohazards and everything like that. I guess
we'll see.
Yeah, I think that's what he's getting geared up to, and I think Leon might be like with him. Because I think it was, I can't remember which movie it was. It was one of the recent Resident Evil movies, the animated movies, where Leon pretty much cut his ties with the U.S. government.
Was it?
Yeah, he couldn't trust the U.S. government anymore after he found out that it was someone in the U.S. government caused like the one where he went to it was like Russia-esque almost, where he found that there were rebels who were using
Damnation?
I think it was Damnation, yeah, where they were using the primary parasite to control other infected. Yeah. And after that, they found out that the U.S. had some dealing in that too. So he cut his ties with the U.S. government, pretty much.
Well, that was the whole thing with Resident Evil 6, was that the president wanted to go open about the truth behind Raccoon City.
Yeah.
From what I can remember, the truth about Raccoon City is that the government knew what Umbrella was doing.
Yeah.
And they were paying Umbrella to do it.
Yeah.
So that they can have
bioweapons. Yeah.
And the president wanted to come forward with it. Leon was like, I trust you. But then the defense guy, Derek Simmons, was like, don't do that.
Yeah.
You're going to ruin your credibility.
What's her face? The Secret Service chick, because her sister was kidnapped.
Oh, yeah. Helena.
She helped organize the assassination and infect him and all that.
Yeah.
Which also, I really don't think that them letting her off the hook was a great idea. I have my reservations about that, but that's a topic for another day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really think that Leon and Chris are at their limit, and they are not at their limit. They're at their limit of patience, and they're about to literally bring the whole fucking bioterrorism world to the ground. Because the way Leon looks in the art that they released for Resident Evil 9, bruh, he looks mad. He looks big. Like, I think he's been really in the throes of it. I'm not gonna lie. He looks like a badass. But he's still got that iconic leather jacket on. So we're about to have that Leon Kennedy back, which I think you're gonna enjoy too.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. Honestly, like the way they brought Chris Redfield back after they did Biohazard, I was like, that's the Chris we want.
Yeah, I agree.
No more bullshit. I'm gonna put a bullet in your head if you're not gonna fucking listen to me because I'm tired of your shit and I'm trying to get shit done, Chris. That Chris. Okay, so last time. Oh wait, actually no. Do you know what time it is?
I do know what time it is.
Do you know what time it is?
It's morphin' time.
It's time to hydrate. It's a little later in the episode than we normally do, but you know, when you're out here fighting zombies, you get a little parched. So grab your water apparatus.
It's straight up sounded like you're about to go into a sponsor.
And hydrate before you dehydrate. Some ice cold H2O. And with that being said, please, I know we like to go on like a little lecture about water, but drink your water, please. I know it's cold outside. You don't think you're sweating as much. You are. So stop being stupid and put water in your system, you fucking idiots. Anyway,
Be nice to yourself.
Be nice to yourself. Yeah. You'd be very surprised about how dehydration can affect everything in your body. So
let me ask you this.
All right.
Before we go into our last topic, I want your take on this.
Okay.
The ending to Resident Evil Village.
Okay.
Sad as fuck or mid as fuck?
It's really hard to say because I feel both. I think it was sad as fuck because, like, it explains Ethan so well. Because the entire time you're playing the fucking game, you're like, what the fuck is Ethan on right now? How is he still alive? He should be dead. And on top of that, how do we get our fingers back? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when they explained that he died and the mold resurrected him and he didn't know, I was like, that explains so much, but that's also super fucking sad because, you know, before you even get to that part, this dude's probably going to die and he's not going to see his daughter again, ever. I think it was mid as fuck just by how he went out. I think it could have been a little bit better how Ethan ended it. Like, just handing him to... Well, also, I think it was...
Disagree.
So I'm actually going to take that back because I think it was also really... Okay, so I don't... Okay, now that I'm remembering everything about the ending, I don't think it was mid at all. I think it was a perfect ending for Ethan.
I agree. I thought it was very well done and very tear-jerking.
Yeah,
I thought it was great.
Not only is it like tear-jerking for the fact that, you know, he's giving Rose to Chris, and you know he's dying, but it's also that moment that he shares with Chris. Like, this was one more person that Chris could not fucking save.
And in this case, he said he would.
Yes.
I thought it was great because after the fight with Mother Miranda, you see his hands start to do that thing.
Yeah.
Whenever the mold die.
Yeah.
And like permanently die.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, man. This is going to turn into like the perfect father-daughter game.
It was a perfect ending for Ethan. I don't think it was mid at all because I think what happened and how they did it was that Ethan was the absolute last straw that's going to break the camel's back. Because like I said, not only did we get a good moment with him and Rose, we got a great moment with him and fucking Chris. Because Chris wanted to get Ethan out. And he couldn't. And when he realized that it was just absolutely no way he could, I think that was the straw that sends Chris over the edge to where he is literally planning on burning the shit down. Because not only, and which is also going to, I think, tie into the next coming, if they continue the storyline with Chris, the next coming games of why he's going to work with Rose the way I think he is. Because now he feels obligated to protect this girl, but also teach her how to protect herself in the world that they live in. So I think Chris is going to take the responsibility as almost kind of like a father figure to Rose, but like that father figure that's like, I'm not going to take no shit from you. You need to learn this and you need to learn it now.
Yeah.
But I think Ethan was the pushing point for Chris to just start lighting the matches and spreading the gasoline because he's had enough. Like when it was such a small line, but when who was it? I think it was what's his name? It's one of the teammates. One of the teammates when he called Chris over and was like, "Hey boss, I think you need to see this," and shows that it was a BSAA bioweapon soldier. You could see it in his face, dude. He was livid and he wasn't showing it, which makes it even better because that shows Chris has got some control, but his anger is now focused, which is just going to elevate it even more. So I don't think it was a mid ending. I think it was a great ending for Ethan. And that's where I'll stand on that.
Yeah, I thought it was good. But the reason I think Chris has it over Leon is because even if Leon becomes this jaded thing, at the end of Resident Evil 6, like in Resident Evil 6, Chris is willing to kill people.
Oh, yeah.
He is done.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that Leon is better suited at fighting bioweapons. I think Chris has that dog in him.
Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely.
I think Chris would, like, in Resident Evil 6, Leon is still a Boy Scout.
Yeah.
Granted, we see him go down a pretty bad rabbit hole in Resident Evil Vendetta, but that bad rabbit hole, Chris has already been down it 10 times.
Yep. Well, so I think also the difference.
Chris wouldn't hesitate to kill Leon.
Yeah.
Leon would hesitate to kill Chris.
And I think my point on that is kind of like moving into that. But when you think about their experiences in their own careers, Leon experiences Umbrella as almost like a Secret Service agent working for the president. Chris, on the other hand, has experienced Umbrella as a soldier from the beginning. He was a STARS unit member.
Leon was only a cop for a day.
That's what I'm saying. Leon was a cop for a day, and then he went and started working exclusively for the U.S. government, whereas Chris was a STARS unit member, watched his whole entire unit get killed.
Multiple times.
Him and Jill are the only surviving members of STARS.
You got Barry and Rebecca.
Well, yeah, but they're not in the game anymore. Well, Rebecca is, I think.
Rebecca's in one of the movies.
Rebecca.
Barry has, like, damn near his own game.
Yeah, but when it comes to the experience throughout the exclusive timeline of Resident Evil, Chris has the most experience over all of them. And he's younger than Barry. Oh, which, by the way, it just reminded me, I'm just going to put this little tidbit. Fuck you, Air Force, all the way.
Yeah.
Chris Redfield.
He was a pilot.
We have Chris Redfield.
Yeah.
And we have Barry. They're both Air Force.
You know, one of the reasons why I wanted to join the Air Force
was because of
Chris Redfield.
Yeah. I was like, and you know the crazy thing is like, I didn't even know that. Like, I've played the classic games and I didn't even think about that.
He's prior Air Force.
He's prior Air Force. I was like, fuck yeah, we got to win. We got an absolute fucking unit.
I was wondering if you were ever going to say anything about that.
Oh, yeah, dude. The moment I learned that, I was like, I'm never going to let that fucking shit die.
I'm
not
shove
gonna
that
let
in
that
James's
shit.
face.
Yeah, man. But I think Chris just overall has it over anyone in the Resident Evil franchise because he's experienced the nightmares of Umbrella as a soldier from day one.
Well, Jill was also up there.
Yeah, but Jill was also brainwashed for a couple of years, and if you want my opinion, and this is probably going to be a hot take, I think when Jill got brainwashed by Umbrella, she went from top tier to mid. I think it handicapped her being brainwashed by Umbrella.
I don't know. We haven't seen her since then. I'm kind of upset about it.
That's what I'm saying. Is like they gave us brainwashed Jill. She was kind of like a badass for a little bit, but I kind of put her on the same aspect of like Ada Wong. Ada Wong is badass, don't get me wrong.
Oh, hold on. Ada Wong.
Hold on. Ada Wong is badass, but I don't think Jill could beat Ada Wong if it came down to a one-on-one.
I think you're full of shit.
I don't know. Ada's just got that smarts in her. And also, when you think about it, Ada also kind of got that dog in her,
Yeah, I was actually going to say that Ada would kill.
Ada got that. She has no...
I don't know. She softened up in Resident Evil 4 separate ways.
She's soft to Leon.
True.
That's the only way I see her being soft, is she is soft to Leon almost all the damn time. She's also got her own
agenda.
That too.
That we don't know about.
That's what I'm saying. We only know so much about Ada Wong. And it's been going for how long? And we still don't know everything about Ada Wong, whereas we have everything about Chris, we have everything about Leon, we have everything about Jill, and Jill was brainwashed by Umbrella. The only things we don't have on Jill is what happened after 5, because they didn't continue.
Yeah, they just keep... I'm not complaining that they keep making remakes, because I love them. Even the Resident Evil 3 remake. Not long enough. At all. Disrespectful how they handled Nemesis. Still love the game.
Yeah, well, don't get me wrong. As someone who is actually a fan of Nemesis as like a villain,
Oh, I love Nemesis.
I actually really liked how they did up until the end. I didn't like the ending for Nemesis in the remake of 3.
They skipped so much.
They really did.
Nemesis, like, he's supposed to be able to chase you around the map for a fat chunk of the game.
Yeah.
And there's like 9 different phases he goes through.
Yeah.
They skipped over like a lot of them. And they just cut a lot of content from the OG. They did it way too fast.
I honestly like the fact that they gave us a little bit with Carlos, though. I enjoyed that.
It was cool. I think on repeat playthroughs, Carlos's segments get a little annoying.
They get a little dry because he starts playing the lover boy. Like I hated that was like a thing that immediately started the moment he met Jill.
It was
very blatant.
It was very annoying in the original.
It was very blatant. I didn't think they could make me hate Nikolai any more than I already did, but they did. Like him in high definition, where like showing his face, I was like, I didn't think I could hate your face any more than I already did, but now I do. You're just an ugly motherfucker.
Nikolai Genoviev.
He's just such a bitch.
D Platoon B Squad.
Bitch. That's why he was in B. Because he's a bitch. All right. So last topic for the day, and this one I think is going to be a fun one. In Resident Evil, and I know there was a game where it happened before. It's fine, but I want to hear your opinion on this. What animal do you think would be most terrifying to you if they were mutated by the T or G virus? Like Raccoon City, you're in the middle of Raccoon City. You've gone through the shit. You've seen lickers. You've seen zombies. You've seen Nemesis following around a hot woman for hours. But there's just that one thing that just happens to be the most ridiculous fucking thing you've ever seen, but it turns out to be the most terrifying, and it's an animal that's been mutated. You can't say Cerberus because everyone knows Cerberus. You can't say the fucking elephant because that was a badass boss.
It was not a badass boss. It was cool. It was not badass.
That's what I mean. But who you picking?
Like, it can't be an animal that's already mutated.
You can't say sharks because we already know about the sharks.
Well, I was going to say spiders, but there's already spiders.
We already know they're terrifying. Think off the wall.
Think outside the box.
Think local fauna that you would see every single day, and if you thought to yourself that they were mutated by the G virus or T virus, how bad is it? And you know what? If it helps, I'll start. Geese.
Oh
Fucking
my God.
Geese. Do you know how mean those fuckers are normally? Could you imagine a flock of geese being fucking transformed by the T virus chasing your ass through the fucking streets? God. There's already a problem with fucking crows. Geese?
Geese would be terrifying, yeah.
Geese would be awful.
I'm trying to think because most things have already been monsters. You got frogs, you got reptiles, spiders, crows. Did I say dogs? I said dogs, didn't I?
Cerberus, yeah.
Shit.
Cockroach. Cockroaches would be gross. That would be terrifying to me. Giant ass fucking mutated cockroaches, you're telling me, and they're already hard to kill? Could you imagine?
I was gonna say cats.
That's actually a good one.
Because cats, even domesticated cats, can fuck you up.
How about gerbils? Mice.
Oh,
dude,
God,
that would be
giant gerbils.
Not even giant gerbils. Like I'm talking about, or guinea pigs. You have like guinea pigs. They stay the same size, but they're just fucking rabid and mutated.
Well,
and
they grow.
That's what I'm saying.
They would grow.
Just bouncing off the fucking walls. I would kill myself then and there. I'm not dealing with that. I'm not dealing with it.
Did you know there's a giant mutated scorpion?
Yes, that one.
Resident Evil 0.
Just hate that. I hate that. And we have leeches already too.
Yeah. Leeches were mid. Resident Evil 0 was disappointing for a number of reasons, but
I'm trying to think of another animal that would actually be just fucking terrifying if it was mutated.
coyotes.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, but that also fits in the same. That also fits in the same category as the Cerberus. But at the same time, why are the Cerberus always like Dobermans?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so weird. It's like all they had were Dobermans, and they only infect Dobermans.
Fucking geese, man.
Dude, the geese one, I thought of the geese one, and I was like, yeah, no, I'd end it. I'm not. A flock of geese just fucking following your ass around. That's like asking yourself, would you rather fight a million or one horse-sized goose or like 1,000 geese-sized horses? You know what I'm saying? Like one of those.
Say horse would be fucking terrifying too.
Yo, yeah.
Horses are already scary, man.
Goats.
I don't know if goats would be that bad.
Are you kidding me? They headbutt everything. Could you imagine a mutated giant ass goat just fucking impaling you? Or just hitting you so hard like a truck that you just fucking explode in the pink mist?
That would not happen.
I don't know.
That would not happen, he says, while talking about mutated geese.
Yeah. Dude, I'm just telling you, you hear that, and it's just done. I'm out. I'm gone. I'm over it. I was like, I'll deal with lickers. I'll deal with Mr. X, which is crazy to say, because I would rather deal with Mr. X than mutated geese.
I think lickers would be the most terrifying thing to go up against.
Yeah, but that's not really an animal. That was like a whole...
Like a lore-accurate licker? That would make me want to kill myself.
Honestly, the remake of Resident Evil 4 painted lickers in the most terrifying way that they should have been painted.
You mean 2?
2, sorry. Did I say 4?
Yeah.
Fuck, yeah, 2. Sorry.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like,
they're terrifying.
They're god-awful.
And they can insta-kill you, but for some reason they don't to Leon and Claire. But, like, you're running from a bunch of zombies?
And then a licker?
Like, you ain't outrunning a licker.
No.
That and like, if you make noise, you have to go slow. Like, you can't make noise.
Honestly, man, that part kills me the most. It's
Lickers
like having to
terrifying.
move super slow in an area that you know a licker is, and he's like listening. Oh man, that's the worst.
I'll never forget the first time I ever played Resident Evil 2, and you get that cutscene with Leon or Claire. You're walking down that green hallway, and then you just look up, and it opens its jaws towards you.
Oh man. I hated playing the remake when Leon first makes it to the no, it was you first see it with Carlos when Carlos heads to the police station, and he hears like the cops fighting in that behind the door, and he pushes the door open and moves inside, and you see like the cop's face is just fucking eviscerated. Oh, and then you see the other one just get yoked from the other end of the hallway. Like the tongue goes through his chest and he just gets grabbed. God. And then you turn and he's just impaled on the pipes on the ceiling. I'm just like, good Lord. That game gave the lickers the spotlight that they needed.
I agree.
Yeah, but geese, man. Geese would be terrifying. Chickens. Oh, chickens. Oh, God.
Peck the shit out of you.
Well, there's the crows, but you just hear that, and it's just grab the shotguns and the baby bib. Baby, we're making chicken. We're frying some chicken today.
Damn.
Yeah, man. You never would have thought about it, but geese would be terrifying.
Yeah, geese would be horrifying.
Just awful. I think rabbits would be a pretty fucked up one, too, because they're just fucking fast.
Yeah.
Could you just imagine just getting, like, hairs all infected with the T virus, and those motherfuckers will punch the shit out of you when they're angry at you anyways. Just rapid fucking rah, 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 rah. Could you imagine that just bolstered by 1,000?
Yeah, no, fuck that.
But with that being said, I think it's time to wrap it up. I think we've been going on for 2 hours or so.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to us. Thanks for being here with us as we start the journey up again in 2024. Hopefully the world doesn't fucking implode because we would like to continue doing this for a while. If you want to support us, give us a like on Instagram. You can find us on Emotional Support Veterans on Instagram. I think that's what our hold is. It's all lowercase in one word. We're going to do our best to try and post regularly on there as well. Give us a like and a follow maybe on the Spotify podcast. We might try. I was going to say, I want to see if we can't try and branch out to other mediums too so that everyone can listen to us on their own platforms. Like iCast or whatever shit is.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about, but I feel you.
Anyways, we're going to try and look into branching out the episodes on the other platforms so that we can spread our influence. But other than that, thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for hanging out with us. You got any advice for them?
Run fast.
Eat ass.
Avoid geese.
And don't look a liquor in the eye.
Doesn't have any eyes.
Exactly. All right. We'll see y'all next time. Thank you.